Welcome to our workshop this evening, How to Heal Your Life and Manifest More. I am so grateful you're here. Our workshop tonight is going to be presented by Jeanine Sciacca, the director and instructor of Silva Method Australia. My name is Amy Schneider. I am the Silva Method instructor here in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Western North Carolina in the US. And I have been a Silva practitioner for the past 40 years. My mom introduced it to me when I was 9, and I've been an instructor for the past 5 years. I celebrated my 5-year anniversary this March, and it is wonderful. It is a passion of mine. I teach the Silva Life and Intuition 4-day immersion here in Atlanta, and that is the original 4-day course that Mr. Silva created over 55 years ago in updated format. And it's the program that you start with. And tonight, you're going to be also learning about Silva manifesting. It's a 2-day seminar, and it is a little bit more in-depth seminar. However, it is perfect. You're just being introduced to Silva, or if you are a grad, Jeanine's going to talk more about that. And Jeanine is coming over to Atlanta here August 30th through September 2nd to be presenting Silva Manifesting, and back to back another workshop that she trains, which is the Love Yourself, Heal Your Life workshop. It is a Louise workshop, who is also a Silva grad, and she's going to be doing those two workshops back to back. She is the only one right now. There's nobody in the US, so she's going to be coming over to do that. We're super excited. And without further ado, I will introduce Jeanine. As I mentioned, she is the director and instructor in Australia, Silva Method Australia, also in South Africa. She also is a John Maxwell trainer and coach. And I had the pleasure of going through Silva Manifesting and Love Yourself, Heal Your Life this last September in Connecticut. And it was unlike anything I have experienced. It was absolutely wonderful. And I left there just, as I've told Jeanine, cracked wide open in all of the really wonderful ways. And she is an amazing instructor, an amazing person, human, and an amazing thought leader. And I'm super excited to have her with us tonight to introduce you to her. And Jeanine, take it away.
Amy, thank you so much. What an introduction. Sometimes when the introduction is so great, then I think I want to also meet that person. You're great, Amy. So thank you everyone for taking the time to join us. It's really an honor and a privilege to have so many people come on, and we had quite a lot of registrations, which is fantastic. As Amy said, I'll just remind you, for those of you who haven't done the Silva Method, the original core program is what Amy trains in Atlanta, what I train here in Australia or South Africa. That's the core foundational program. It's a 4-day program called Silva Life and Intuition System. Now, I'm coming out to Atlanta to train a program called Silva Manifesting, back to back with Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. And just to say, if you have done the Silva Method, you'd love this program because there are 11 new techniques. Not one of them is the same as the Silva 4-day program. So everything is new, and it's just a focus totally on how we manifest, the actual science behind it. If you've never done the Silva Method, so let's say you've never done the program in your life, not the 4-day, not anything, you couldn't pick a better place to start, because I came to the Silva Method through Silva Manifesting. So that's how I came to do the program. This is now many years ago. I'm talking over 15 years ago. And today I happen to train Silva Manifesting. I'm now certified, and that's why I'm coming out to do it in Atlanta with Amy, as she mentioned, in August, and then doing Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. So what I would like to cover off with you guys today is just really help you understand a little bit about how you actually manifest, because this is really probably quite important to you and why you came to this event, I'm not sure. And then I'll talk about the Silva Manifesting a little bit first. If there are any questions, type in the chat box. your questions, I'll take them as I see them. And then I'll try and dedicate some time as well to Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. Although I would like to talk to them both because we are training them back to back. And a person would say, well, why would I need to attend both? And this is the purpose of this webinar, and to help you understand a couple of things. So I just made a few notes here that I might refer to, but the first thing I want to share is there's all kinds of reasons why people like yourselves come to an event like this. That might be different for everyone, but generally they fall into 3 common buckets, and I'm talking about Silva manifesting. The first reason people come to an event like this is because they actually want to learn how to consciously create a desired outcome. They want to know how they manifest, because you all know that you do manifest. You can think of many examples in your life where you said, I know I did that. I really wanted that and I made it happen. So we're all manifesting all the time. Now, by the way, when we have things happen that we don't want, we're manifesting as well. We're also manifesting. So what's going on, and how do we master the art of manifesting? That's one reason why people come, to learn how to do it consistently and reliably. That's the one reason. The other one is to develop mental clarity and a sense of mental focus. I don't know what you're feeling right now, but I can tell you the more students I coach, the more people I train, the more people are looking for clarity. There's a lot of distraction in this world. People have lost a lot of focus, or even if they have goals, they find it difficult to stay focused on their goals. That's another reason. A third reason is that people actually want to connect more with their intuition. So the Silva method as a program develops intuition. And when I first did Silva manifesting, my very first course I did back in 2010, that's like quite a while now, I did Silva manifesting as the first program. I only did Silva, the 4-day course, 4 years later. And I can tell you, just doing Silva manifesting, I never even realized how my intuition was developed. And if you're making notes, I'm just going to jump right into something really important. You might want to write this down. An idea is the first manifestation. An idea. So we have goals, we have things that we want, we have all kinds of techniques we're looking for to know how to program for these goals. This is a term we use in Silva. We say we program for them. What do we mean by that? Well, it means you close your eyes, you get into a calm, relaxed state, and you use mental rehearsal and advanced visualization and creative imagery to create a scene of your goal not happening, but already happened in the past, like accomplished, and then to conjure the emotion of it. And in the moment that you feel the emotion, your vibration changes. The way you feel changes. And it really is a vibration. You can measure it with instrumentation today. It's a vibration. So you're in a different state of everything in your body, you're down to your atoms, your subatomic particles are energy, and they're in a state of vibration. And when you're angry, they're low. And when you're very happy or joyous, they're quite high. So we do have grades of vibration. And that's what a feeling is. So when you're visualizing your goal already accomplished, in that moment, in the present tense, your vibration rises to the frequency of your goal. And if you hold it long enough, you start to engage what we call universal law. And the law of attraction is the one that's most important right now. And whatever is a vibrational match, the thing that you're feeling, you start to manifest that way by law. Meaning, what is the law of attraction? It says you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. Now, be aware, it says you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So if you don't want it and we're feeling it, maybe we're not busy programming for our goals, we're just driving in traffic and feeling angry about something, we also manifest what we don't want. So whatever it is, we manifest. So if you're making notes, you might want to write this down. Goal setting is an intellectual process, but goal achievement or goal manifesting is a lawful process. So in the 2-day workshop of Silva manifesting, we definitely talk about the 7 universal laws all the time until the person becomes like really aware that we don't manifest through luck. We don't manifest through good times, bad times, the weathers. We manifest by law. And what does it mean by law? It means it never changes. It never deviates. It's the same for everybody, whether you're a good person, bad person, whether you're a rich person, poor person, you come from a bad background, good background. Doesn't matter what your culture is, what era we're living in, laws are consistent and undeviating. And the best example I can give is the law of gravity. People don't have to believe in it, but it still applies. I can just pick up this pen and drop it. So I don't believe in the law of gravity, but it's reliable. The law of aerodynamics is why we can trust every single plane that's going at a certain speed with a certain curvature of the wing to start to take off. Because it's not by luck. It's not by chance. It's by a law, one of God's laws, the law of aerodynamics. So when it comes to manifesting, we have laws that govern manifesting. As I mentioned, the law of attraction is one that is most commonly known. And by the way, the law of attraction is actually like a marketing term for the law of vibration. And the law of vibration says everything is in a state of vibration, and that is likened to itself is drawn. Which means if a person is not aware of what state they're in, let's say you're in a very angry state and complaining heavily, well, the law of attraction is going to bring you more of that. You get what you think about or what you feel, whether you want it or not. So when a person's angry and complaining, they're just going to attract more things into their life for them to become more angry and more complaining. And that's when we're not aware. That's why to do a course to raise your awareness and practice the opposite of that, which is what we want, how to remain focused on our goals with a feeling of appreciation or joy or achievement, and hold that feeling predominantly and have techniques to keep connecting with that feeling. You help train your vibration to an upward place in the frequency of the goal you want. And as you do with repetition, every time you think of your goal, you think of the outcome. Not I don't have it, the outcome. Because everything in life has two sides. Every subject has two sides. So let's talk about money. If a person wants more money, subject of money is not one subject. It's got two sides. The one side is the having of money, and the other side is have not. So when you're programming for more money to come in your life, or an increase, or whatever it may be, I mean, I've done it many times. I still do it today. I still program to have more financial abundance for living a better life. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you think there's anything wrong with it, it's a limiting belief. The universe is abundant. Everything in nature is abundant. And we are in an abundant world. So prosperity means abundance for me too. And any thought that we shouldn't have more or couldn't have more is to do with lack of self-esteem or lack of self-love. And that's why we do Love Yourself, Heal Your Life straight after Silva Manifesting. Because if you learn all the tools on manifesting, but don't love yourself, you're not going to bring the good into your life. And I don't know this from theory. I know this from my own life example. I've manifested incredible things when I found Silva Manifesting. I mean, even the international global trainer of the Silva Method, when he very first met me, this is way back in 2012, I hadn't even done the Silva 4-day. And I was talking about Silva Manifesting that I'd just been practicing. My results were astounding. And then there have been times in my life where I divested myself of the good. I ruined the good. As I got it in, it went out. As something good happened, something bad happened. As I suddenly got out of nowhere several $1,000s of, one example was unclaimed pension from a certain pension fund. And they said, for all the people, the fund moved over and they was surplus. And yes, out of nowhere, money came in. And then you'll find sometimes you're able to keep it and put it to some good use, invest it, whatever you want. And other times, as that money comes in, you go over something with your car and blow a tire. And then you must spend $2,500 fixing the wheel and replacing the other tire because you can't change one, you've got to change two. Or something else happens. So when we have this going good up and down, back and forth, is the struggle that everyone faces when it comes to manifesting. So the laws all play a role, and universal law is the most important thing to understand, because when you understand universal law, you realize that manifesting is a science because the laws of physics. So we spoke about the law of vibration. If you're feeling very positive, you're in a high vibration. If you feel very angry or complaining, you're in a lower vibration, and you're going to attract a vibrational match every single time. So when I talk about the subject of everything has got two sides, we need to know that when we're trying to program for something, if we constantly have the awareness, I don't have it yet, I don't have it yet, I don't have it yet, you get what you think about. I don't have it yet. So you're creating the lack of it or the postponing of it manifesting purely by your awareness that it hasn't manifested yet. So what we need to do is what? We need to create time, whether it's 5 minutes a day, it'll work. 10 minutes is better. 15 minutes is excellent. Where you actually close your eyes and relax your body. And then you visualize yourself as if you had the goal. The only question to answer for yourself when you must visualize is this: what does it feel like having this already? Now, you don't have it, but you've got to imagine it. So use our imagination. And every time you do that and you imagine the having of it, your vibration rises to the frequency of having it, which is a different frequency to where you are now. When you go back and do it again, tomorrow, you do it, you raise your vibration there again. When you come out, it slowly comes down. But every day you do it, you raise your vibration up. And over time, it doesn't go that low. It goes a little bit higher. Again, and it goes a bit higher. And eventually you train your vibration to an upward place. And when you can maintain or sustain it with a level of expectancy, this is going to happen for me. I've imagined it so many times. I'm familiar with that feeling. I've almost got a memory of this future state. It feels so familiar. The more familiar it feels, the more you've trained your vibration upper state. And the minute you've got that feeling of expectancy and you believe it's going to happen for you, it manifests. That's in very simple terms, the whole process. But there are other laws, like the law of polarity, which means if there's the having, there's the not having. There's the opposite. There's the law of relativity, which says, well, is this pen big or small? And it says, well, compared to this pen, it's small, but compared to this little thing, it's big. So the law of relativity, when you think about your goals, your life, your money, your accomplishments, your relationships, your health, if you keep relating yourself to someone who's better off than you are always going to feel in a low vibration. But if you use the law of relativity and live in harmony with it, and you compare yourself with people who are struggling, there are so many people struggling. We are so blessed with the lives that we live. We honestly are. So even to be on a Zoom meeting means that you're living in quite a well-established kind of life, good quality of life. You've got a computer, you've got Zoom. Some people don't even have food. So if you think about these people, we really are so blessed. And the more we think about them, the more, well, this is me, the more grateful I feel that I'm so blessed. I'm here to bless others. And that's actually why I'm a trainer, because the Silva method did. It blessed my life so significantly. I dedicate my life to teaching this to others to help uplift people. I was in a very bad way many years ago, and this helped me. So the law of relativity is another one. We live in harmony with it. Another one is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which means energy keeps moving from one form to another form, from a higher source to a lower source. What does that mean? It means an idea. When I said an idea is the first manifestation, ideas move into form. They don't happen straight away. You can't wish, oh, I really want to have. I'll just give you an example. Amy was telling me, I'll share a video, that she wanted to go. Where did you want to go for the birthday? Berlin. You want to go to Germany for her husband's 50th. And she got this idea in her head. And as she got the idea, it doesn't manifest straight away. But the time between having the idea and the manifestation is another law. It's called the law of gender. Everything's got a gestation period. And the law of perpetual transmutation of energy is happening in the period of idea to manifesting. Everything in your life, this pen, my phone, this glass, a cup, everything was once somebody's thought. So that's one of the other laws. The law of rhythm is in everything. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. You breathe in, you breathe out. Everything, the seasons are a law of rhythm. You can't change them. People can want to change the law of rhythm with all their might, with all their power. You cannot. It's a law of nature. It governs everything. And how does it govern our life? Well, it's just the awareness that You know the saying, this too shall pass? That's really a beautiful saying for the law of rhythm. So if you're in a place right now where your life is not that great, just have hope. Good times are coming. And that's really where we need to be aware of the law of rhythm. By the same token, when we manifest, I've had this where all good luck chases me. It's almost like I've got a lucky star shining over me. That too doesn't quite always last. Something happens and I don't know, I go into a bit of another phase where I need to go back to my resources, back to my techniques, meditate more, focus more, write my goals again, because I've slid a bit down, depending. So it happens to everybody. No one is on top form 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of the year. So these laws govern manifesting. So I just want to show you something to help you understand. This is, if anyone knows Abraham Hicks, if you don't, it doesn't matter, but this is theirs. So I just want to give credit for credit is due. This is really a lot of emotions. It's called the emotional scale. Number one is, these are good. All the ones on the left are the good feelings. Number one is joy, or a feeling of empowerment, or when you have knowledge, or the feeling of freedom, or total love, or total appreciation is the highest feeling. Okay, then it goes all the way down, and then you get to neutral over here. From neutral, you go into negative emotions. So there's 22 on the scale. Now, when a person is feeling right down here, 22, the worst feeling ever, powerlessness. The feeling of being powerless is awful. That's what grief feels like. If you've lost a loved one, you'll know that feeling. You know, before I found the Silva method, my late brother died suddenly, and it was incredibly sad. It was the saddest moment of my life. And I've never in my life felt lower than that. And that is, I can relate to this on the scale. It's so true that grief is down there. Now, we can't jump from grief suddenly to joy. Okay, I want to use, this knowledge of the law of vibration to manifest. You can't just jump like that. It doesn't work. But we can go up the scale little bit by little bit. So we know that there are 5 stages of loss. Let's talk about grief. If you lose a loved one, you know that one of the stages is anger. Well, people go into anger after grief because it's a relief. You might be angry the person's gone, or you don't have that life with them anymore, or you don't see them. You can be really angry. You could have that feeling. I don't know. Well, let's just take another example. Let's say someone canceled an event with you and you really wanted to go. And in the moment, you suddenly felt angry. It's not a nice emotion. But if you suddenly started blaming the person, I'm not trying to advocate people blame. I'm just trying to make an example. But if you're going to blame and say, oh, that friend always cancels on me, they never stick to them, and you blame someone else, well, it relieves your anger somewhat because it's higher than anger. And if you just accepted the fact you're not going to this event anymore, so you feel a bit disappointed by it, so now you're disappointed. Disappointment, by the way, feels way better than anger, and it feels better than blame. So as long as you're moving up the scale, here's boredom, quite neutral. You can start moving upward. The reason I'm showing you the scale is for one and one reason only. If you care enough about how you feel and practice for 5 minutes a day, 10 is better, 15 is ideal, something that you really want, and you get into the feeling of it. I'll say it again, the feeling, the emotion, E-motion is energy in motion. When you're feeling the emotion in that moment, in the present tense, your vibration rises. And if you can hold it for long enough, that's why as long as you can, but definitely longer than a minute or two, you start to change in the quantum field. If these words sound strange to you, I don't know what else words to use, in the universe or in the ether or in the energy around you, the law of vibration starts to play out. And it gathers together the cooperative components to make this thing happen for you. Now, I was talking to Amy about trying to remember moments in your life when you did manifest. Because when Amy and I were talking about this event before we put it on, the one thing we wanted people to remember, and I want you to remember it right now, you have resources within you. You have greatness within you. You have a power far stronger than you can ever begin to imagine. You have a power to manifest. Sometimes we need to be reminded of that. And I want to do an exercise with you where you are reminded of that. So I'm going to put something on the screen. I want you just to quickly draw this on a piece of paper. If you haven't got a piece of paper, please go and grab yourself a piece of paper. Let me just share this. And then I want to share a video that with Amy. But first, draw this on your paper. It's a timeline. Okay? I don't know how old you are, but let's say you are. I just can't see my screen. Just 1 second. I've got too many menus over it. One second. There we go. Okay, so let's say you anything around 40 to 50 years old, you'll draw a timeline like that. Of course, if you're 90 years old, you'll take the line on the right to 90. Just draw that on a piece of paper and cut them into decades. And I'd just like you to, on the bottom, draw a line to any moment of achievement. You achieved anything. So, Amy, maybe you just want to tell them from 0 to 10, Amy, what was your memory of achievement?
Riding my bike. Learning how to.
Okay, so so Amy told me that and I made a note. And then I asked her questions of when she was 20 or 10 to 20 or 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So I want you to do that for yourself. Just draw that line. And I want you just to think of any memory between 0 and 10. It doesn't matter what it was. Could be learning to ride a bike, could be getting an award for sport at school or some accolade. You could be doing a drama act and the first time you acted and you felt something good, or you got a good mark for something and you remembered that. Any moment of achievement, just draw a line down and write it in there. And any other age between 10 and 20, 10, and do that exercise for me now. Try to think of at least 4 or 5 moments of achievement. If you can't think of so long ago, think of more recent ones. But draw this line and draw the arrows going down. So this is an example of Amy's. She learned to ride a bike around about age 7. I asked her more questions. She got a wonderful job when she was young to travel the world. I don't know if I got the age right, Amy, but let's just pretend it was around that age. Who knows? She bought her first house. I'm not too sure when exactly, but if you bought a house for yourself, it's a massive moment of achievement. Wow. The first time you even rent a house is a moment of achievement, never mind owning a house. So write that moment of achievement down. And then something else Amy mentioned was she never only gave birth, which is a moment of achievement, but she gave birth the way she wanted to. So that's another one. Becoming a Silva trainer. Just want to share the video. Carry on with the exercise. Don't stop doing it. And I'm going to play a video while you're busy with the exercise. Please tell me if the video plays on the screen. Can you see the video, Amy? The whole feeling.
I can.
Is the whole
video is there, just the little clips.
Okay, wait.
I can hear it.
There we go. All right. So yeah, this is a very casual talk between Amy and myself. Just last week, we were thinking about this event and we recorded it for whatever reason. And I said, take this clip because it's just in the moment. I want you to share. Amy was talking about manifesting. This is very important for you guys. Don't think we're just wasting your time here. This is really important. How do you manifest? So as I asked Amy, listen how she's talking. And while you're watching this, think of any memory of achievement and write it on your timeline. So here goes. What were you feeling when you manifested that? What was going on? What were you thinking and feeling or doing at the time that made that happen?
So I'll give you the aha moment of becoming a Silva instructor. I was in my car in the parking lot of my children's elementary school. And when it came, because I was like, what else can I do I was teaching childbirth education. What else can I do to help these families? And it just opened up. And I was like, oh my gosh, the answer has been here the entire time. This is a core part of who I am and what I do and what I turn to. I knew in that moment that's what I was supposed to do. called my mom and I told her, I said, I just figured something. I thought she was just going to be like, oh, that's great. That would be wonderful. Oh, da, da, da. And in that moment, I found something out about her that I had never known my entire life, that she said, oh my goodness, I have always wanted to be a Silva instructor, but knew that was not what I was supposed to. So it wasn't her wish for me. It was I never known. I mean, my mom was always my biggest champion, but so I knew she was going to be excited, but it was a response that I did not expect in all of the good way.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay. So if I'm correct, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? It was your intuition. Your intuition came. Okay. So that is
Yes,
intuition.
it was.
Okay. Great. So when you
Yes.
learned to ride a bicycle, what were you thinking and feeling then?
Motivation.
Motivation. What else?
Motivation. And I was scared.
Okay. Great. So you were scared and you just, you backed
And
away from the
excited.
fear, or you went with the fear? What did you do?
I
How
went
did you
with the
deal
fear.
with it?
I went with the fear. I think because it was something that everybody was doing and I wanted to do it and I wanted to be able to ride my
So
bike.
you had a lot of desire. All right.
A
So let's
lot.
talk about the things you had: desire, you had motivation, you had fear. What else did you have that made you ride a bike?
Confidence as I was learning how to ride it. So once I got past the first stage, oh, it's not so scary, even though I didn't know how to ride yet. I'm not quite sure how to put that in, but gradual confidence.
Great. And also, you haven't said it, but I'm guessing because you eventually got to right, was persistence.
Yes, yeah,
And your
yes.
confidence is slowly believing that you can do it, believing in yourself, or in the process, or maybe looking at others saying, if they can do it, I can do it. So that also helps our belief. And so if you took those kind of elements and did them in a new thing, let's say you want to learn how to ice skate, if I'm correct, you could take those resources, skills, thoughts, feelings, determination, everything, and replicate them at 47 years of age and learn how to ice skate if you went every week to class. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So in this example, if I left you for 45 minutes, not 3 or 5, to fill in that timeline and continuously knock on your own past, what else? You'd write more and more and more and more. You've got so many stories you don't remember, but the minute you tell your subconscious, give me another one, they'll just start popping in your head like bubbles coming up. And that thing, you won't have any space to write. It'll be completely filled. And it's again proving that we have evidence in our life that we've created some extraordinary. Okay. So you've done a bit of a timeline. Now, why I wanted you to do this exercise is just raise your hand for me, or your hand on the react buttons, or just raise your hand here in the video. Did you have, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you can remember were moments of achievement in your life? Great. Okay, some hands are going up. Good. So the reason I'm asking, this is what you are doing at what we call in the Silva method, the beta level. The beta level is a level of brain frequency. I'm not going to get all too sciencey on you because it's going to be boring. But just understand that when your eyes are open and you're seeing and you're listening, you're in a brain frequency called alpha. Now, the whole Silva method, all the techniques are done in what we call dynamic meditation. That means you are in a meditative state. That is not beta. This is very important. You do the exercises predominant in Silva in the alpha brainwave frequency level, which is much slower. Why did Jose design the program that way? Well, the reason is your subconscious mind, which is responsible for driving 95% of your results today, your subconscious mind is very susceptible to making impressions, to being programmed at the alpha level. So we first relax, get rid of this crazy busy mind because it's too busy, And when we're in a meditative state, we then have techniques that go through certain structures to help us reprogram the subconscious. Now, I love Silva Manifesting, the course 2 days, because there are wonderful exercises to uncover your blocks. So the exercise you just did now on your timeline is to help you remember that you have achieved things. Now, as I said to Amy, what were you thinking and what were you feeling when you manifested? She mentioned a couple of things. Confidence, she had some fear there, she was motivated, she had persistence. You have the same. So on the top of your line, also write what were you thinking and feeling. But that's at the awareness reasoning beta level. If you did this exercise, I guarantee it, in the alpha state, you'd get different answers. You think, oh no, why would they be so different? They would be different. They would be different. When we ask questions at the alpha level, we are accessing our intuition. And I just have to say it, your intuition is the most valuable skill you could ever learn in your life because it guides you. When I said to you, when you manifest, the idea is the first manifestation. But what do you think an idea is? That's intuition. An idea comes from not your mind. Don't think that you came up with the idea. I just speak in terms of my own. I'm a person of faith. It comes from the mind of God, or it comes from the infinite, or it comes from the universe, whatever term is right for you. You become aware of it, and then you say, oh, I have an idea. But everything comes from one universal source. So intuition is the opportunity for a person to tune into knowledge and guidance that's not in your own life, knowledge, experience, books. You've never heard it, you've never read it, you've never seen it. You think, well, how on earth can I get knowledge if I've never read it, saw it, or seen it? Well, it's a phenomenon, but it's real and it's proven scientifically and it's been around for centuries. People talk about intuition. It's such a valuable skill. So with Silva Manifesting, one of the techniques we also use to uncover a block, and this is very surprising, you do something like we do age regression. We go back into what we call the 7 anabolic years, 7 anabolic stages of our life. So your first stage of your life is 0 to 7. It's called the imprint phase. It's where 95% of your programming today comes from 0 to 7. Your limiting beliefs, 95% of them come from 0 to 7. Your good things that you do and your bad things that you do, habits, whatever it may be, comes from 0 to 7. So we actually go back as an age regression to the day you were born, and we start to use our imagination. But remember, your intuition's at play now, not your logical mind. So forget about logic and just stay with me here and trust this process. When you're in the alpha level and you're using your intuition, and we ask you to imagine what happens in your first 7 years and what happens in the next one from 8 to 14 and the next 7 and the next 7, and how you take the beliefs that you've gathered into the next phase, and then those that you've gathered to the next phase, and now you're between 21 and 28. Once you've compounded those into the next, up until the age you are now, you will get such enormous epiphanies as to where a lot of your limiting beliefs come from. The other thing we also do is ask this question at a very deep level. I would even say you're between alpha and theta. Theta is a deep level of mind that they use in hypnosis. But with Silva, you can train yourself to be aware consciously and be in theta. The average person is asleep. And we ask the question, if you manifested everything you want, and by the way, you will know what you want because the first part of the course of the morning, we spend a good 30 to 40 minutes on refining what you really want as a special goal clarification exercise. Remember I said to you, one of the main reasons people attend a course is to develop clarity. We do that in the beginning of day 1. So you would have that already. Imagine that you knew clearly what you wanted. In a very deep level of mind, if I said to you, if you achieved all of that and better than that, who in your long ago past would be upset? Now that sounds like a really weird question. Why would anyone be upset if I achieved it all? Well, the funny thing is, every person I've ever trained, and I've trained hundreds now, you'll get an answer. For Laura Silva, Jose Silva's daughter, the one who wrote the program, Silva Manifesting, she herself, her answer was her father, Jose. He would be upset if she accomplished everything. Now, it may be, it may not be, it might be perception of the individual. But remember, Jose was the man. He designed the course. He was the big knowledge center. He was the big deal. So she felt that she couldn't be great as him or better than him. So she had that limiting thing in her. It held her back until she did this very exercise that we do in the course. And for me, I was telling Amy, my father, I love him. I adore my dad. He's like my hero. I really do have a wonderful relationship with my dad. When I did that exercise, believe it or not, the person who came up was also my dad. Because I remember him having a conversation with me when I was 8 years old, telling me to be rich and have all rich, flashy things is to show off, and that's terrible. Because my uncle had just bought himself a Rolls Royce. He became quite wealthy in his young 30s. And he came to visit us in his Rolls Royce. And as he was pulling away, my dad said, "It's terrible to be such a show off. Why can't you just drive a Toyota?" That was what my dad said. So in my mind at 8, I'm in a very impressionable age. I'm still a little bit in the imprint phase. I'm still in the very programmable phase of my childhood. To hear, to show your wealth is shameful, don't be a show-off. Well, when I did the exercise about having everything that I really truly desire, who would be upset? My dad's name. And I had to then work on a technique in the Silva manifesting to clear those blocks. So basically the course is, and you can do this, by the way, do the timeline exercise. I want you to do it because I want you to really, from a logical beta level, work out where did you accomplish things. You've done it there. Work out maybe now or after this webinar, what were you thinking and feeling? Because if you can sit and analyze it at the beta level, you'll get, I'd say, some good information. It'll help you. But if you could do the course with us and do it at the alpha level, you'll get amazing information. What we want to work out is something called your PCS, your personal code to success. Everybody's got one. You've got one that's slightly different to mine. Amy's one is slightly different to yours, and so on. Your personal code to success is something that you do. Maybe you're not even aware. It may be very subtle. But when you do that way, you get results. So when you put your hands up early and you said, I did create great things. Those things you created, you were using some code of success that you inborn and natural in you. Now, when I go back to this, I just want to put this back on the screen a second. Okay, what were you feeling? You put things on top there. Why we need to know what we're thinking or feeling. If I go back to this slide, if you're manifesting and you're visualizing and you're feeling the emotion and the passion, the enthusiasm, the joy of accomplishing your goal, you raise your vibration and you're engaging the law of attraction, you're going to gather components to make it manifest. However, if you walk out the front door after doing your morning visualization and you get suddenly annoyed with the traffic and you're angry in the traffic and you angry about something that happened at home, whatever, it's like this. If you watch my hands, it's like having two locomotives. When you're programming, you're pulling your results in the direction of your goal. Your goal's over here. You're getting the energy towards your goal. But the minute you're angry, it's like one locomotive going this way, another locomotive is the anger. It's not going in the direction of your goal. It's going that way to get you more things you do not want and more things to make you angry. So when you've got these tug of war emotions all day long, negative emotion, the two locomotives both pulling in this opposite direction, you're not going to go anywhere. So what we do in Silva manifesting, 1, we start to get clear on our goals. Secondly, we work out in our long ago past, what are blocks, deep subconscious blocks that we're not even aware of that are holding us back. We uncover those. Then we work out our personal code to success. Then we tune in by a timeline exercise. We go way past the age we are into our long ago future using imagination and really immersing ourselves in the feeling of having all that we've wanted created already. And then we actually get information from the future version of ourselves on how to manifest. And amongst many other exercises, we also do things to help us. One of them is the monkey mind exercise. So we know when we've got anger or worry or stress or overwhelm, we're not manifesting. Well, did you know that that crazy overwhelmed monkey mind can be highly valuable if you know how to use it? We do it in Silva Manifesting. There's a monkey mind exercise, and everyone goes into the exercise with the most recent overwhelm they've had, no matter what it is, even if it's on the day or something that happened a week before, it doesn't matter. And when you go through the exercise, you begin to slowly separate a lot of the noise in your head, and through the alpha level, again, accessing your intuition, we get lots of gold nuggets on what we need to be focusing on, prioritizing, making more important in our lives, making time for. And everything, when they come out the exercise, no one is overwhelmed, no one is stressed, and no one has the monkey mind. All they have is a lot of clarity, and they immediately make some notes on a piece of paper. Once you've learned to do that for the rest of your life, you can be in any chaos, and you can take 5 minutes, go on your own to some private place, and use the technique to get that clarity. And then also towards the back end of the course, we start working a lot on the blocks to wealth, money, abundance, because people have them. We all have a limit. I have one too. I've created amazing things in my life. Since I left corporate and I was in a great job as director in a multinational, since I left in 2015 to work for myself, I've created more abundance and prosperity than I ever did in my corporate life. And that's from using these very tools that I'm sharing with as many people as I can. I want everyone to thrive. I want everyone to know what I know and more. And the more you benefit your own life, you will realize as you're growing and creating more, you reach a ceiling. And we can't go more past that ceiling. What is that ceiling? Well, this now takes me into the course we run on the next 2 days. Love yourself, heal your life. That's the name of the 2-day course. It's by Louise. It's all her work. It's her actual words and script. We use the exact words of Louise. It's the most powerful and phenomenal program in my life I've ever done in terms of transformation. In 2 days, I don't say this about every course, and I wouldn't say it prior to having experienced it for myself. But if I tell you that love yourself, heal your life will change your life, I give you my word. I give you my hand on heart. It will change your life. Every single person, I don't care who you are, where you're from, if you do that course, when you leave at the end of the second day, you will have transformed so much. And the reason is we all have a lot of what we call inner child wounds. Now, some people don't understand the term, but let's just explain it in a simple way. When you're a child, you cry many times. Children cry thousands of times. Not all experiences are traumatic, but for the child, in their level of awareness, some simple experience that is nothing in the adult's perspective, for a child, can be abandonment, can be rejection, can be hopelessness, helplessness, feeling out of control. Even if they're on the trolley in the shopping aisle with the mom going shopping, they're sitting in the trolley, and mom pops around the corner to get cereal, and the child wasn't aware, looks up and can't see its mother, and bursts into tears until the mother comes back. In that moment, that child experienced a form of trauma. It's rejection. It's abandonment. So what I want to share about this is we have a brain, and when we have any highly emotional experience, clusters of neurons, maybe a little circle, not the whole brain, just a little cluster of neurons is firing, and it creates something called a neural net. That's what a block is. When a person says, I'm stuck, I feel stuck. That's what it is. If it says, I've got this block, I've got this fear, I don't know why I can't do public speaking, I've got this block, I don't know why I can't start my own business, something's stopping me. Blocks, stopping you, traps, all these words. It's a little cluster of neurons that fired in some traumatic time in your life and created a boundary. What happens is that, let's say it's this, it's like a little cluster, and it's got a ring on the outside. As it fires these neurons, it creates a like scar tissue and boundary. It holds it in a little shape. Now, when that happened, the original trauma, there were thousands of sense impressions. Sense impression is, let's say a dog attacked a 6-month-old baby, just a small attack, nothing major, barked in its face. Didn't even hurt it, just barked it, gave it a terrible fright. The child got such a fright and screamed. Well, whatever it saw in that moment, whatever it heard, whatever it was feeling, the temperature of the room, the light in the room, anything, becomes a sense impression at that moment of fear, the child might not even remember it. The child can be 12 years old, visiting a friend's house, and a friendly, lovely Labrador comes galloping towards the child to say hello and lick her face, friendly. The child freaks out and cries because her eyes, which is a sense impression, a sense of sight, saw the dog running towards her, and it immediately fired the entire boundary. It fired the whole cluster of neurons. It happened when she was 6 months old. That's what a block is. So the child is terrified for no reason. It's not for no reason. She had something happen that caused a block. Well, we have a lot of these, okay? We have an infinite number of them. You could heal them from today, working every day on them until you're 100 years old. You will still have more to heal. Louise Hay says this herself. So what Heal Your Life does, we do many things, but the one is we heal a lot of our inner child wounds. And I'm talking about predominantly things to do with family dynamics. Our parents, how we were raised, our siblings, the household we grew up in. We've got some really stuck, trapped emotions there. You might not even remember them. You might not remember them at all. But something's really hurt you, maybe hurt you deeply. Maybe you had a difficult childhood. I had a wonderful childhood. I can say that I had gratefully no major problems growing up in my family. However, when I did Love Yourself, Heal Your Life, I uncovered a blind spot, which was my greatest fear, which was a fear of being used again and again and again, which came from being sexually abused when I was 12 years old and 13 and 14 and 15. I never even connected the two fears. I mean, the two experiences, the fear of being used in business, in friendship. I got a fear of being used. I block myself for many opportunities from this fear, and I don't know where it came from. When I did Love Yourself, Heal Your Life, it came up. And by the way, I did the course for the first time in 2022. I had told no one in my life I was sexually abused, not more than 4 people. Now I tell everyone, I don't even know you people. I'm telling you, I've got no emotional charge. That's how wonderful the course is. It healed it without even, without directly talking about it or dealing with it. I didn't even deal with it directly. None of you do when you do the course. It's subtle. It's in the background, but we heal. And when you heal and you open that boundary of that image you just saw there, and the energy can flow again, it's not trapped. The great thing about the way you design is it can never close again, and you're healed for good on that particular trauma. So Love Yourself is such a powerful course. It deals with limiting beliefs. It deals with traumas, healing the inner child, and it deals a lot with self-love. That's what's called Love Yourself, Your Life. Even if you do Silva manifesting and you learn all these techniques, if you don't love yourself, you won't use the program fully. Even if you know how to create a lot of money or a better relationship that loves and cherishes and adores you, even if you know how, you've got the tools. If you don't love yourself, you won't do that. You won't use it to create that being loved and cherished and adored because you don't feel worthy at a deep subconscious level. So just the very last slide, then I'm done talking, is these 2 courses. Silva Manifesting is the first 2 days. Love Yourself, Heal Your Life is the next 2 days. If you're able to join these courses and attend them both, you will have a very, very rare opportunity that most people don't have. And I'll tell you, I speak from experience. I'm a Silva trainer. When I did the Silva method, I've been using it for 15 years. I manifested a lot in my life. But until I did Love Yourself, Heal Your Life in 2022, which is quite recent, my entire life changed significantly. Every area. I changed where I lived. I changed my business premises. I changed a 20-year relationship. I got out of a 20-year relationship. I know this sounds like, oh, am I going to do the same? And no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it was an act of extreme self-care. I love myself enough to done the right thing by me. So when you love yourself, you fix everything in your life. The wrong things for you disappear. The right things for you attract to you. You manifest way better. So I'm just mentioning this because the 2 courses are back to back, and Amy herself did it. And maybe you can say, Amy, the 2 courses back to back, they're not the same course. They deal with different things. This is processes of deep healing and coming to love yourself in a way you can't do without processing, which means you have to process it. I can't intellectually explain to you how to love yourself. or how to heal your life, it's never going to do anything. So you need to go through the process, which is a beautiful program. You leave this one on an absolute high. By the same token, still the manifesting, you also leave on a high. You've got the tools to manifest. You've uncovered some blocks, rewritten them, but there's thousands more. We all have them. And once you've done heal your life, you can learn how to heal more triggers. They're called triggers. Every time you get angry with someone, every time you get infuriated and frustrated, it's an unhealed part of you. It's true. You can say, oh, but you don't know what the person did. It doesn't matter what they did. If you react, there's an unhealed part of you. But what if they slapped me? Even that, an unhealed person would take the slap and have no reaction. Like Jesus, he was one of the most evolved beings. Healed the person who came to arrest him, kind of thing. Forgave the person who were crucifying him. So it's not true that we always react depending on what they did. It's depending on how healed we are. So that's it. So I'm just letting you know the 2 courses back to back are great. If you can do them together, it would be amazing. And you can just share a bit of the course details now and how they can book or any of that, Amy. And if you've got early bird prices or whatever for people coming.
Hi, yes. Jeanine, thank you so much for that. I will piggyback a little bit on just very quickly on what Jeanine was saying. I did both courses, and what I loved about them together was that in manifesting, you really do start to realize some things that have come up. And then you can then use that. Once you're aware, you can do something about it. And that's the thing about the experiences that we have, especially in that 0 to 7 phase, when we aren't aware of them, we don't remember them, even going on into our life, we repress things. And once we're aware of them, we can then do something about them. We can then heal them. And when I had some things come up for myself in Silva manifesting, I actually had a pain in my foot that wouldn't go away. I know we've talked about this a lot, Jeanine, that wouldn't go away, and really became aware that I was really having a hard time moving forward from the loss of my mom. And going through both programs, I walked out of there and the pain left within a week.
Can I
And
just add something? Sorry, while you're there, just for the people, if anyone's got an ailment, an illness, Heal Your Life is about both emotional healing and definitely physical healing as well. There's a lady named Lisa. She doesn't mind me telling you, she had cancer 10 years ago. It went away. She had the cancer removed and she's been in remission for 10 years. And she called me saying she went for a checkup and the cancer came back and she had to go for an appointment to get the treatment of chemo, surgery or radiation. And I begged her, I said, please, Heal Your Life is coming up. This was in Australia. Please attend the course first before you go for your treatment. It will help you so much, release everything and help you heal. Anyway, long story short, she came and did the course. She booked the treatment appointment 2 weeks later. When she went to have the checkup to determine her treatment, no cancer. She completely healed her cancer in 2 weeks. And this is not a far out story that's so rare. It's not. There are so many people, and if you read Louise Hay's books, people who do heal your life heal. I met a person with plantar fasciitis for 3 years. On the first day of Love Yourself, Heal Your Life, by the afternoon, her pain was gone. There's an affirmation in the book. We use the affirmations. We understand every ailment is a language. So neck is inflexibility, knees are self-righteousness, can't move forward, can affect your hips, or like Amy, the foot. If you're not feeling supported, you have back problems. So everything is a language. And when you get uncover what it is and start using the affirmation and work and process that trauma or that block or that trapped emotion, these are the ones: anger, fear, guilt, resentment. They show up as the most of all the causes of illness. So if anyone has anything, we've also, Nancy's best friend who works for me, Nancy works for me, she'll come and help me in the course when we're in Atlanta. Her best friend had bladder cancer, 6 cancerous tumors. She did Heal Your Life. She had operated, removed, they grew back. She did Heal Your Life. She cleared up. They haven't come back. So this is really, really powerful work. If you've got mind, body healing to do, this is where you have to work, is at the emotional level. So I just want to say that because it can help people.
exactly.
Yeah.
moving through, being able to move through the stuck energy, it releases it. And also what I really have found since going through both programs is that just I take what I know from the 4 day, I take what I know from Silva Manifesting, from Love Yourself, Heal Your Life, and I'm now so much more aware of things that are going on. And I'm able to identify things a little bit, faster or become aware of them than I was before. And I think that's what's so lovely about these tools is that instead of being in that place, you've got tools to be able to use to move through. And the more you use them, the faster you're able to move through the challenges. It doesn't make the challenges go away. It doesn't make those hard days go away, but it does help you to move through them easier and better. Thank you so much, Jeanine, for sharing everything this evening. Jeanine will be here, and Jeanine and Nancy will be here Saturday, August 30th through Tuesday, September 2nd. The first 2 days, August 30th and 31st, is the Silva Manifesting Seminar. And then the second 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, September 1st and 2nd, is Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. And registration, you can come to one, or you can come to all four days, both programs. The number of seats are very limited. There's 48 seats, actually 44 now, 44 seats available for Silva Manifesting. And I think now there's only 20 seats available for Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. The Love Yourself, Heal Your Life program by design is a smaller group. So I don't know if you wanted to speak to that really quickly, Jeanine, about.
Yeah, so we cap it at 24. So if you do want to book for that one, please book ASAP and get yourself in there because that's definitely going to be sold out. We cap it because we're working with very important moments of people's lives, and we need to have the time to have everyone being able to share, to able to speak, hear each other, whatever it may be. I just want to quickly answer some questions. I've hardly had any moments of achievement. I promise you from experience, the more self-love we have, the more we remember moments of achievement, or you do have them. You've got many things. You might be thinking you want these big major things, but achievements you have in your life, if I could just ask you a few questions, you would uncover them. So never limit yourself thinking that you don't have any. They don't have to be massive things. But if you wanted something, you achieved it, that's an achievement. Doesn't matter what that is. You learn to walk. That's the first one. We're aware of that like we are now when we're trying to have goals. But to think about it, learning to walk is everyone learned to walk because we never learned failure by the time when we were so young, you didn't know what failure was. We learned failure as a concept and tend to use that to hold us back in life, fearing it. I won't do this, I won't do that. But we all have moments of achievement. And then someone said, is it recommended to do the 4-day Silva or manifesting and heal your life? I'd say use your own intuition. I don't want to tell you what to do. I've done all of them. We had the event exactly like this last year where Amy was in Connecticut, and everyone in the room except for 2. So we had 53 new people and 2 graduates for Silva Manifesting. They were all Silva 4-day graduates. The course is completely different. There's 11 different techniques. They're not the same. Silva Manifesting is very focused on one thing and one thing only, the science of manifesting and how to do it consistently with your personal code to success and uncovering certain blocks here and there. But the Silva 4-day is the core foundational program. It's got all the life skills. You don't get these in manifesting. How to get rid of headaches, how to sleep every night, how to make decisions, how to heal yourself and heal someone else. And then intuition. You do 2 days of intuition development. Now, remember I said all meditation develops intuition, and it does. But in the Silva 4-day, you actively develop it. So I can't really say which one is better. They're not the same thing. It's like saying, well, which is the best fruit for me to eat? Is it an apple? Is it a banana? Is it all of them? They all give different vitamins, minerals. So they're not the same. I'd say trust your intuition. Love Yourself, Heal Your Life is very different. I recommend every person on the planet does it 10 times just to get started. We have so much healing. We've got no idea, even myself. And even if you went to the event not knowing what I have to heal, I did that on my third time. I did the course 3 times in a year. The third time I went, I thought, I don't know what I want to work on. Again, the biggest blind spot then came up, a Mount Everest of self-forgiveness that I hadn't ever addressed. So we have so much that's blind spotted in our lives. So I just say it's what you really feel. Use your intuition, trust your intuition, whatever it guides you, go for that. It'll be the right thing for you. Jen said, thank you for a wonderful workshop. Thank you, Jen. And we'll share the recording. Yes, we will definitely put up the recording. Amy will email you all the link and you can share it with people that you love. If you think they need it more than you do, that'll be beautiful and very generous of you. What time do they start? They start at 9 a.m., but we must be at the venue at 8:30, no later, to register on the first day of Silva and the first day of Heal Your Life. What I need to come to the day before and leave on. My suggestion would be, if you can, I don't know how far you're traveling from, but we must be there at 8:30. So if you're not traveling very far, travel. But if you can, give yourself the gift of arriving the day before, and if you're coming from out of town and sleeping a good night's rest, it's better for you so that you are aware when you're doing the meditation cycles and not falling asleep in them because you need the rest. So to be very relaxed and conscious, you need to be well rested. And this is something else. At the end of Love Yourself, Heal Your Life, I recommend the day after, even if you want to do 2 days after, don't make any major appointments with anyone. Give yourself the gift of some silence. You'll love yourself so much. You'll want that for yourself. I would definitely not leave the night of. If you can, stay the next day. But if you need to leave, it's also fine. How to deal with those who seek and expect healing and do not receive it. Is it the fault of the practitioner? That's a very good question. It's belief system. So there's a book called The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. So really read that. If you don't want to read books, there's a video on YouTube called The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. It's a 2.5 hour video on YouTube. It's free. Please take the time to watch 2.5 hours, The Biology of Belief. When you watch it, you'll understand everything is our beliefs. Now, healing, if you want to heal, and I say it that way, you will be able to heal your life. You will. There's no one who hasn't healed. There's not a single condition, not even paralysis. The Silva Method trainer in Singapore was paralyzed. She broke her neck, damaged the nerve bundle. The doctor said she'll be paralyzed. She had the awareness of mind-body healing. We do it in Heal Your Life. She used the techniques. She used the Silva Method, and she climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. She brought herself back to full recovery. Everything. There is not a condition that hasn't been healed if a person wants to heal doing the emotional work. So it's not the fault of the practitioner. Some people do not want to heal. And I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm saying that there's some secondary gain they're getting, whether that's attention, whether that's control. The world revolves around them because they can't do this, they can't do that. That's what we call a shadow value. We talk about that in the course too. If you're getting your shadow value met, if you're getting more attention with your problem than your solution, you'll never let go of the problem. But if you know what your shadow value is, let's say attention, and you're able to, which I do as one of my techniques with rapid results coaching, I do, be able to wire your brain saying, I get more attention if I heal or have the solution than in the problem, you'll let that problem go. So even heroin addicts have dropped heroin using shadow values. So there's a reason people have sometimes an illness and don't let go of it. And I'm not the judge of that, the person themselves, but not the practitioner's fault. The person, if you want to heal and you go and do the emotional work, you will heal. You will. I believe that. I will never change my mind. It's not my opinion, by the way. This is now science. It's proven. The Biology of Belief. Dr. Joe Dispenza wrote a book, You're the Placebo. There's another good reference there. Yes, the recording will be accessed. Thank you. So blessed. Quite enjoyed. Thank you, all of you people. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you all. Have a wonderful time. And I would love to see some of you, hopefully, in Atlanta with Amy in August.
Thank you so much, Jeanine. There is one question somebody asked about the price. Separately, Silva Manifesting, just coming to Silva Manifesting right now, the early bird is $8.97. And also Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. If you're coming for the first time, Love Yourself, Heal Your Life is also $8.97. If you want to go through both courses, you do have a savings there. It is $14.97 plus in Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. We do provide lunch, so it's $25 extra for lunch. So the total price to come to both is $15.22. So you can come to either.
That's the early bird.
Yeah. Yes, that is the early bird. After early bird, it raises to 997 for each.
It is. I'm just putting it in the chat box. It is how much?
997.
Okay.
Yes. And
Each.
each. And
Okay.
then together it's 1522.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And you can go to my website, which is silvamethodatlanta.com. And right on the homepage, you'll see Silva Manifesting and Love Yourself, Heal Your Life, and that will take you straight to all of the
Yeah,
information.
just keep talking. I'm going to get the link for these people and then put it in the actual chat box while you're on.
Perfect, perfect. So yeah, so you can also go to courses and go under Silva Manifesting. We have a whole page for manifesting and Love Yourself, Heal Your Life. And it is, once again, it's August 3rd through September 2nd. And I hope so much for everyone who would like to come, be able to do it. And please reach out to me if you have any questions. I know a lot of you have received a lot of emails from me over the past few days. You can hit reply to any of those as well. I'll also be sending out email with the recording so that you can share with loved ones, and I would love the opportunity to meet you in person.
Great. And then, Amy, someone asked about the hotel.
Yes, so our hotel, the hotel that we're staying at, has given us a group rate of 109 per night. That does not include taxes and fees. And that information will be emailed to you once you register with a link. There's a booking link to all register, and that it'll just be here that way.
Excellent. If anybody has any more questions, please feel free to ask. Or put your hand up or type in the chat box if you have any more questions. Otherwise, Otherwise, I just want to thank everybody once again for listening to this full hour and a bit. And thank you, Amy, for arranging it. But thank you to everyone for attending. I appreciate your time, your attendance. And I wish you everything of the best. May everything go up and up for you and better and better. And I'd love to pass on this wonderful information that's changed my life and change yours and make it more blessed, more prosperous, more happy, more joyous, more fulfilling. And that's why we do what we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Jeanine, I had one other quick question that I want to just answer really quickly. I had someone who asked if they have taken the course Silva Manifesting before.
Yeah. If you've taken the course before, there's 11 completely new techniques in Silva Manifesting. Not one technique is the same. The program is different content to the Silva 4-day completely. It's designed by Laura Silva. It's a purely manifesting course, and the techniques are different. We do age regression, the anabolic stages and catabolic stages of life. We do timeline, going into your future, all kinds of things. We do money magnet for money. We do monkey mind. There's a lot of different exercises. So if you've never done Silva, it's a wonderful place to start. But if you have done Silva, you'll love this program because you really trust the Silva method. So you'll love it. You'll really love it. You'll just fit right in there because you already know how to do the dynamic meditation cycles and so on.
Absolutely. And all of this information will be emailed to you. Everything that we've just said and put in the chat regarding the details will be in the email with the recording as well.
Great.
Right.
Thank you.
Fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you. And just thank you so much. Namaste.